Hi, this is Paul Sackett's Good News Broadcast. Hi, I'm with Karen Simmons. Hi, Karen.
Hello, Paul.
All right, a longtime friend and overseeing Autism Today, and I guess a co-author, Bill Davis. Hi, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, good. You know, I'm looking at the website here, and I can see on the website a book called Autism, forget that today stuff, tomorrow, it says.
We got to think about that. Yeah.
We better think about the tomorrow because, unfortunately, this reality of autism striking so many more than has today and in the past has become a serious subject. It always was serious, but I guess it's becoming more serious. So the complete guide to help your child thrive in the real world, okay? Have you ever wondered what will happen when your child with autism is an adult? So does that mean that a child with autism maintains autism through their adulthood, Karen?
Absolutely. Autism is a lifelong disability. And people with autism, actually 90% of the cost goes to people after the age of 18, so it's a huge, huge need. People have been so busy putting out the fires and trying to get their children on the right bandwagon and get the early intervention and everything for so long that they forget about the future. And the future is where our kids are right now. Are they going to get married? Are they going to have kids? Will they ever live on their own? Will they ever get a job? I think these are questions we ask of our regular teenagers and young adults, and we also need to consider for kids with autism.
So, but are there millions of adults right now walking around with autism?
Well, the diagnosis has gone through the roof, as you know, and I think we're just playing catch-up right now. And there are millions, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that do have autism, and there's going to be even more because the diagnosis took that huge, dramatic increase in the 1992, 1994, and that's when the numbers started skyrocketing. So we're going to see it explode, over the next few years, I believe.
Bill, what is autism?
Well, not to add another comment, but I was going to say, first of all, that a lot of people, a lot of adults, kind of slipped under the radar. They weren't diagnosed. They were that geeky guy in class, or the awkward guy, or the guy who couldn't play sports, or somebody who got in trouble all the time and they couldn't figure out why. So you're talking about, like Karen said, hundreds of thousands of people, some of them in the prison systems, unjustly so, and living with their parents, and sometimes single parents who haven't prepared, not on purpose, but just so busy when they're young, but haven't prepared to have this child live, till 75, 80 years old.
Bill, speak up a little bit more, please. I know we're all on a conference call, so it would be helpful if you spoke up just a little bit louder.
Okay. All right, I'm going to move here. Okay, so what is autism?
Perfect, thank you.
Autism is a neurobiological disorder. It affects socialization, speech, communication. Comes along with a lot of things. It has a lot of baggage with it. We're talking about sensory issues, the inability to make friends, and it delays speech and language. We have intestinal issues, eating issues, Crohn's disease, many, many disorders. But to put it simply, people with autism are overwhelmed. The world is coming at them all the time. Everything is, the best way I can put it is, you look at a tree, you see the beauty of the tree, and you see differences and so forth. A person with autism, every leaf is as important as the next leaf. So it is just overwhelming to them, and they use a lot of tactics to get away from that fight or flight type of instinct and make the world palatable. The world hurts, so they have to learn how to deal with it.
Okay. Now, Karen, I know you personally, and maybe Bill, I don't know as well. Bill, you've been involved with the autism outreach for some time? Bill?
I can't hear. I'm sorry.
Oh, he said, have you been involved with the autism outreach for some time?
Yes. Well, I have a 17-year-old boy with autism who's doing absolutely beautifully. When he was diagnosed at 2.5, there wasn't much out there. There were no schools in the area. There were no therapies. ABA didn't exist. doctors didn't know how to diagnose, neurologists didn't know anything. So we went on a long journey to not only to advocate for my son, but to advocate for others.
Okay, so you're living this, and I know, Karen, you are as well,
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's one of the reasons we decided to joint venture on this book, because I'm a woman, he's a man, and we both have kids that are living on the spectrum, but we have children that live on both ends of the spectrum. And one of the things that I've had so many parents come to me and say is that, well, you have a kid who has high-functioning autism. What about kids that aren't so high-functioning and that have bigger challenges than your son? So that's why I thought that, that Bill and I both thought that it would be a really good balance to have, both sides or all of the spectrum portrayed, with someone who has more challenges rather than and different types of challenges as well.
Okay, so now give us in the book, so find the answers to many of these questions while said. Did you ever wonder if your child will marry and have kids, can live on their own, will be gainfully employed, is going to be safe in your absence, has the right tools for success? Okay, so in essence, you cover them in your book.
Yes, we do.
Some thoughts in this regard.
Well, like my son, okay, he came to me when he was like 10 years old, and he told me that he was going to get married. He was concerned about, what his wife would like or wouldn't like. And I said, well, Jonathan, where do you think you're going to live if you get married? He says, well, right here with you, Mom.
That's a pretty good answer.
And I'm like, I don't think so. You go make your own money. You go get
Shucks. You sure he was autistic or just being smart?
Yeah,
you were going to pay the bills, weren't you, Karen?
Of course, yes.
Ronnie Dangerfield at the end of Back to
I'm on the other end of the spectrum.
Oh, okay.
Where, Karen's son may grow up to be a very independent young man and may eventually live on his own and, hold down a job and get married. I have a friend, Stephen Shore, who is in the book, who researched some things in the book, and here's a guy who travels all over the world. He has autism. He's a PhD, like Temple Grandin, who also wrote a piece for the book. He's married. He socializes. He's grown into this lovely, intelligent man. And my son was diagnosed as extremely severe. As a matter of fact, it was recommended that I institutionalize. And that's pretty much what set me on my journey. So I think in this book, Karen and I try to cover just about anything that you can think of on each end of the spectrum, as from the day your child is diagnosed till he gets older. And we've covered, dealing with the family, bullying, dealing with the police, dating, friendship, hygiene, fitness, finances, jobs, college, and we can go on and on.
Yeah.
So it is essentially a guide, but it's also, it has a lot of stories and anecdotes and a lot of love that was put into this book.
While we're raising our kids.
But, Karen, this is a full-time AutismToday.com and your help you need now. I mean, you've really thrown yourself fully into this.
I have. I've totally.
Over the years.
In the autism world, you'd say it's stimming out on it. In fact, I was on the phone with Stephen Shore today, and that's how we talk, It's like he's stimming out on traveling or stimming out on doing conferences. I guess I've been stimming out on autism. I mean, it's just something I love, and I love to help people, and I love to bring the resources that people need to the table so that they can not have to struggle and suffer the way that a lot of, like we did in this day,
It's all good. So where does someone get a book like this?
Well, we have a site, autismtomorrow.com, that we have specifically for this, and anyone who listens to this radio talk will be able to get the book for $10 off if they put in a secret code of Karen, K-A-R-E-N.
Oh.
So that's
I didn't even know that.
I know. I just...
Thank you.
I think if you put in Bill, you have to pay $10 extra.
Okay. Oh, that's great. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that for our audience. And
well, we really want to get the word out. We really want people to have the tools they need. Because, I mean, you think about it, 80 to 90% of the cost of these children is after the age of 18. And there's really nothing out there for these kids and the families to help guide them down that pathway.
It seems to be concerning.
There's not many resources. There aren't many resources and financial resources as well. for adults with autism.
And I know Karen's a guru.
Mainly because there's a lot of ignorance out there. You know, what do you mean get a job live independently? But now people are starting to come around. And we talk about it in the book. There are programs to get young men and women into college who have autism, and they actually, will help them set up in the dorm and give them more time on exams and term papers and buddy them up with somebody who can help them navigate the campus. And, there's more social networking for the parents and financial help and so forth and so on. So we're coming of age, but, those little nuances and a lot of things that we've been through, that's what we're providing in the book. And, of course, I have to mention that the book, what I find marvelous about the book is that it took a life of its own with all these guest authors who love the idea so much that they, volunteered to write pieces for this book.
And we have a magnificent sponsor. The Center for AAC and Autism also helped us bring this book to fruition. So we're very, very grateful to them for reaching out and helping us.
A lot of good news going on here. I want to let our audience know that Karen also is the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul, Children with Special Needs. She's written other books and some of the autism. We just did a show with Autism Speaks. I know you have some of your literature that they're utilizing as well. And you're doing a great job. And we're developing our autism channel on Good News. And, of course, want both of you to be part of it. And we're going to make that happen. And so there's a lot of good news. So last question. Bill, can you hear me? What's good news for you?
Yeah.
Good
again, I'm sorry.
Good news for you. What is good news for you?
What is good news for me?
Yes.
Well, I have, first of all, I'm coming up on my first anniversary of being married, so that's great news. And
Congratulations.
I have a very loving wife who loves my son, and my son loves her so much that he tells me to go to work every night so he can dance with her and play with her.
Wow. Great.
But the best news is that from a young guy who didn't speak and hurt himself and couldn't, maintain life outside of the home and was scared and had so many things wrong with his intestines and so forth, I have a 17-year-old boy who is handsome and has friends and reads, listens to music, speaks beautifully, is computer whiz, and will be going to high school in 1 week.
That's gorgeous.
So he has navigated through the school system, and he will graduate on his own with all his credits, know everything he had to get at age 21, and that's magnificent news.
That's one proud pa. That's a proud dad. Thank you for sharing that. And Karen, what's good news for you?
Well, focusing on the gifts, the strengths, and the talents that our kids have, focusing on the glass being half full, not half empty. Our kids on the spectrum have such unique talents and gifts to show the world. And actually, my son yesterday, Jonathan, he made an appointment on his own to go get his road test done for his driver's license. He's going to get this baby done. D-O-N-E, done.
Oh,
that's
boy.
Great.
Oh, that's all great. Well, you're such an upper and positive person, and the book is all about that same kind of belief in life. It is tomorrow. And congratulations, Autism Today. Thank you for a kind offer to our readers and our viewers, and much success. And as we start to build out the Autism channel, and Karen being one of the hosts by far. Thank you, and Bill. You guys are wonderful. Thank you.
Very much.
Just the autismtomorrow.com is the website, so if they wanted to get the book for $10 off, then it's a special for the show. I just wanted to reiterate.
Okay, that makes good sense, and we will be sending people directly to that website through this story as well.
Thank
and
you
the print.
so much, Paul.
Okay, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, too.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye-bye, Karen. Take care.
Bye-bye.